Good evening. It's a dark spot on Lawrence's history, a time of protests, fire bombings, and sniper fire. It escalated with an event 40 years ago today that thrust Lawrence into the national spotlight, the burning of the Kansas Union, a fire that to this day remains unsolved.
None of us that were on the department will ever forget it. It's indelibly imprinted in our minds.
You could sit out front and hear the gunshots going off down all over East Lawrence, and it was a strange time.
It was April 1970, a time when anti-war protests and conflicts over racial tensions converged in Lawrence, Kansas.
Everybody has the right to protest, but when you start endangering people's lives and the university itself, it was a very traumatic time for everyone. Can you recognize that?
Monty Pearson and Dave Stauffer spent their careers serving on the Lawrence Fire Department, and a call 40 years ago today still sticks in their minds.
We would have every person that was a fireman up here. We called in every single firefighter. We would have been here.
The Kansas Union was on fire. Flames gutted the top 2 floors of the building, causing more than $1 million in damage.
There wasn't a stitch of hose left on the truck. I had no idea where my lines were going, and I had 3 water feed lines coming in.
Students helped pull hoses through the building. To this day, the fire, the work of arsonists, remains unsolved. At the time, the fire chief said the blaze was most likely set off by a firebomb.
They've got the street up here at 13th and Oregon completely blocked. They are firing weapons again.
In the nights that followed, firefighters responded to call after call, oftentimes coming under fire from snipers or finding themselves in booby-trapped buildings. A curfew was enacted and National Guard troops had to be called in to help keep the peace.
Once the sun started going down, you could just hear the guns going off around town, and all the ruckus would start again. It was just a battle zone.